roast chicken paprikash and cheesy Spätzle, dill seed and caraway seed. I'm never going to break down properly. Looks like a lot of hay. But coarse salt, added as an agitator, will break it down into a fine powder. This way, it matches the texture of the garlic powder and paprika, two kinds, sweet and smoked, and dried dill. We got to get that spice rub under the skin from both sides, working everything in and the front. You even want to get inside that cavity. String straight up the middle, under the pits, crisscross, grabbing the skin and pulling it tight. Crisscross again, wrap it around the thighs. And see it sit up pretty? Turn that bird over and finish the job off. Look at how pretty that sits. A heavy pan with high sides and an onion cut in half to prop up that bird. This sauce is pepper based, red bell peppers and Fresno chilies for heat. I prefer fresh tomatoes for this, flesh side down. The juice from the tomatoes is going to leach out and help start the sauce. There's room for everybody and a couple of cloves of garlic. The rest of that rub all over the veg. And olive oil will help the skin get brown. No liquid in there because we're looking to maximize caramelization. Spätzle are usually all-purpose flour. The high gluten of semolina will help add structure, and that yellow will help add nice color. A teaspoon of salt and freshly grated nutmeg. Just a little bit. This is like making pasta. 500 grams of flour, 5 eggs. Unlike pasta, you got to work the gluten. A mixer with a dough hook will take the work out of it. You're going to need a little water. How much depends on your flour and your Spaetzle technique. This recipe calls for about a cup. Scrape everything down and put your machine on and let it go for at least 10 minutes. See that webbing? We're there. Now we got to let that gluten rest. I like to let my Spaetzle dough set for at least an hour. Adding bacon to a cast iron pan, then turning it on, will give the fat time to melt before it starts to crisp. See that fat? We need that fat, but I'm going to give that bacon a little more time. We're going to want that crispy bacon for later. But now we got a place for those onions, like a lot of onions. Low and slow, and let them go. Oh, that looks good. Temp out your bird. More than done. Looks good, right? We can grab that chicken. Oh. And set it aside to rest. That concentrated flavor is the base of our sauce. I know those flavors are going to be real good. There's only one way to bring these flavors together. That's the base of our sauce. But it doesn't have nearly enough paprika. Sweet and smoked. That's big pepper flavor. While that sits on low, we can start water for our Spaetzle. You always want to cook Spaetzle in heavily salted water. If you don't feel like making Spaetzle tonight, then make some pasta shapes that'll stand in nicely. You don't got a Spaetzle mandolin? Maybe you got a potato ricer. Those work. This steamer basket has the perfect size holes for making Spaetzle. Those bubbles tell me that Spaetzle dough is perfect. Don't try and do this all at once. A little at a time. Push that Spaetzle dough through those holes. Making those Spaetzle dumpling fall into the water. They cook real quick. Putting them in cold water sets them up. Just keep making them. Those onions will make a perfect base layer for those Spaetzle. Some of that Spaetzle water, as is, or cheesy. Gruyere, or in this case, Asiago. I may have gotten a little carried away. I don't care. That's going to be fucking good. That Paprikash sauce needs one more thing. Sour cream, two more things. Heavy cream and sour cream. One last thing. We started with bacon, we're ending with bacon. Now we're ready. Roast chicken paprikash and cheesy Spaetzle.
The smells of this are phenomenal.
Chicken is actually quite nice.
It looks amazing. Like cutting into it, it's just like, ooh. Holy roast pepper goodness. That's delicious. That sauce is heavenly.
Our f***ing flavor.
The onions, the bacon, the cheese on this Spätzle.
And German mac and cheese.
I didn't know what it was before this, but now I know, and now I want it again.
With onions and bacon, and it's f***ing good.
F.L. Aver. That is fucking ridiculous.